Greetings, my fellow creatives. Hope everyone is staying safe and following the guidelines, and so we could find a way to beat this COVID-19 and get back to normal where we can be the creatives that we are designed to be. I recognize recently that there have been some discussions going on about the way forward, the present situation where we believe we have been disregarded by our leaders and our government and the present administration and administrations prior. But it's more prevalent now, especially as we are hurting in ways that we have never been made to hurt before. Everybody, we ain't working months from March, for example, since this thing hit. And most of us, a lot of us require on the hotel properties, etc., for survival. Pardon me. So I've been asked to explain the thing that's been floating around about the orange economy, and I've been asked to explain it because I am one of the persons on the orange economy subcommittee, which is a part of the overarching economic recovery committee that's been mandated by the government to find ways to stimulate the economy of the Bahamas. We all recognize that COVID has brought us to our knees financially, economically as a nation. So the Prime Minister has appointed some persons to head a committee called the Economic Recovery Committee, ERC. And from that overarching committee, there were subcommittees formed. And one of the subcommittees is called the Orange Economy, which I am a part of, which I've been invited to be a part of. And that terminology really came about is from UNESCO, and Mrs. Pam Burnside, through Creative Nassau, has been dealing with UNESCO for a while, which is one of the things that we have missed as artists. I ask you all to look into that as well, the Creative Nassau thing. You could see that we have missed an opportunity to be a part of something that might have been able to assist us now. However, the orange economy is simply been defined by UNESCO as the branch of any society that is able to provide a major source of economy boost done by the creatives, intellectual properties, marketing of goods and services by the cultural sector of the community. So that's where the name came from. The government has set out a number of persons in this group, and we've been meeting once a week to make recommendations to the government that would help us to bring ourselves out of this situation that we find ourselves in now and stimulate the economy. So basically that's what it is. So we've been meeting to do that. So there are a few recommendations that have been made. Of course, you know that I'm going to be speaking on behalf of the artists, and it's not just the musicians, because the cultural community involves the person that plats straw in Cat Island or Long Island, to the person that could sew the straw into baskets that will get into our straw markets and so forth. And it also has to include the family islands. We can't just be thinking Nassau. We got to think of a way to culturally bring ourselves out of this as a country. So recommendations that have been made have been inclusive. And the conversation has always talked about the cultural community, how we could assist that. Therefore, from the musician standpoint, as you know, I will be speaking of, we talk about ways to not be at ground zero. It makes no sense, and I've seen people post this on Facebook. It makes no sense if you come out of this COVID situation exactly where you were left. So we need to find ways to lift ourselves up out of this doldrum by improving ourselves. So recommendations I have made include education, provision of funding for you know, like for example, we don't have a dance school. We don't have any education for songwriting, proper training for, studying of Junkanoo and Rake and Scrape from primary school level to university level. The recommendation has been made that we will use the word Gombe, because I just think Gombe is such a pretty name to go with the logo that we've known on our Gombe Punch and Gombe Festival. And although we've argued over the years if there is such a thing as a rhythm called Gombe, we have not been able to define a rhythm, but we do have Rake and Scrape and we do have Junkanoo. So the suggestion was to name the music of the Bahamas Gombe as the overarching name, with the substrates being Junkanoo and Rake and Scrape. They are all separate rhythms. Define them, do research, study them, document it, place it into our curriculum. That's foundational stuff we're talking about doing. So in the initial stages, the committee that I am in is to start to try to suggest things, to do some foundational things. The performance, the production, these are things that we got to take on for ourselves. We need to form our agencies. We need to form our record companies. We need to practice our instruments, those things. But if we can do some foundational things that will go past us in this lifetime, that if another time we get drawn to our knees, we'll still be able to find ourselves. So I don't know if that helps you any, if that explains it any better to you, but that is what has been happening now. Going forward, we made suggestions to the government, and this is my recommendation to you, creatives. If they balk, if they do not come through with some of the simple things that we recommend, they ask us to bring some low-hanging fruits that they could do now, that they can generate some money in the economy. We made some suggestions because obviously, we can't have Junkanoo in June. We can't have Crab Fest because we're not allowed to have those number of people. But we can do some smaller things. We could, and of course it includes the social media. We got videographers, we got designers. We could do some things that incorporates the social media. But what we need the government for is to make the path smooth for us, lay down some foundational things that we could develop ourselves as Bahamian creatives and do what we do best. And so that is all it is. There's nothing secret or anything sinister going on, or people not wanting to have the creatives involved. Foundationally, that's what we've been doing. And if we can, among ourselves, figure how we could fix our industry, we can't continue to be all songwriter, musician, producer, then we won't be our own designer. We need to find ways to branch this out. Let those who do what they do best. Ronald Sims always says, let the bakers bake the buns. So I hope this doesn't appear too long, but I just thought I've been asked to make this statement so everyone could understand what it is. Also, I'm going to ask those who share this video to attach the link to the Orange Economy. It's a long read, but it's a read that will help you understand what we as the creatives have, that we could help ourselves to redevelop ourselves, to find ourselves, and to contribute to the economy probably better than any other sector in our society. So I thank you for listening. Let's get our act together. All of us hurting bad. Most of us ain't work from March. So if you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to me. Just know that I am representing you. I am representing us on the board. And we have all of our best interests at heart. We have the country at heart. And we got to find a way to rise up from ground zero to a better place than where we were before. All right? So thanks.